Welcome in, everybody. I am the Crypto Bull Guy. It's okay to get a little bit excited today. Just a wee bit excited, though, and I'll explain why. This is all in the charts. Your Crypto Daily TA live stream. For everybody new tuning in, I appreciate it. For all the consistent members who have returned, please hit the thumbs up button, drop me a comment, hit the bell icon for notifications to know when I go live, and make sure to subscribe to the channel. Before we get into the charts, I did a little bit of, did quite a bit of driving this weekend. Went on a little bit of road trip, and there's a few things that I noticed when driving in the state of Florida, and I've shared this before on this channel. But what's up, YC? I've shared this before on this channel, but drivers in Florida, the first thing I noticed driving is that nobody likes to use turn signals. Literally, no one likes to use turn signals. And that can get a little dangerous, let me tell you, when you're driving 85 miles an hour, you know? The other thing I've noticed is, admit it, if you are one of these people, like, just come out and admit it. There are some people that love to, like, govern the left hand, the left lane on a highway. They love to govern it. They're like, I feel cool what speed I'm doing. I'm just going to fucking cruise at this speed. This is a safe speed. Nobody needs to go faster than this. And they're just driving parallel with the car in the right lane. And you just want to get around the fucker, and you can't. And he or she is driving 77 miles per hour in a 75 mile per hour highway speed zone. And they're just keeping tucked with the car. Oh, my God, I cannot stand that. It's just like, move over to the right. My father used to do this all the time. You'd say to my mom, he'd say her name, "I'm driving at a speed I feel comfortable with." Driving in the left lane, because he would lose track of what he was doing and was probably thinking of other things. So if you are one of those people, for the love of God, please move. There's also a lot of aggressive drivers, like a lot. I would consider myself, I don't know what type of driver you are. Drop me a comment. Tell me what type of driver you are. Are you very passive? Are you very chill? Are you very aggressive? You know? But I would consider myself a little bit more aggressive, but not like dangerously aggressive, you know? There are people flying on the highways, driving at like unknown speeds, just zigging and zagging out, and oh my God. It definitely gets worse when you get to South Florida. You get some of that as you're driving to the northern part of Florida, but it gets worse in South Florida. All right, let's start this timer up so I'm not talking your ear off here. I have a tendency to do that. Let's get into the charts, because I know that's why everybody's here. By the way, if you appreciate the content, make sure to hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel to get bell icon notifications. Okay, typically we do not do this on this chart. What you will find, if you've been subscribed to this channel, you know, if you've been here for a little while, I like to focus on the higher time frames, okay? I do not go down to a 5-minute chart or a 15-minute chart, okay? We never do that. But the times are different now, in my opinion. There will be some days where there's potential excitement, which is what we're experiencing now, or definitive excitement. And you will see that I'll have a tendency at those times to go into a 5-minute chart. Hell, when things get really explosive to the upside, I actually have, because I have an advanced view on TradingView, I mean, I'll go into like a 5-second chart, a 1-second chart, because I can appreciate the price action going on at that granular of a level. But anyway, we are entering some exciting times. So you will find from time to time I'll go on some lower time frames like this. Right now, this is setting up as a bull pennant pattern. Now, ignore if there's some drawing on the price indicators. This is my 12-hour chart. I've just changed up the time frame, so don't pay attention to some of the markings down here on the price indicators. But this is a flagpole, a pennant, and consolidation. Okay, it doesn't need to play out, but it could. MACD is, okay, live. We are watching this right now. The MACD is curling up, which is a very positive thing. And the RSI, again, I wouldn't pay too much attention to that because I have this marked up from a 12-hour chart. But we'll have to see if this breaks to the upside. The measured move here, for purposes of fun, you just take this pole, you clone it, you take it at the point of breakout, which might be right around there if it happens. I'm a little skeptical it's going to happen, and I'll explain why, but we'll have to see if it happens. The target on this would put this up just over 30,000, 30,200. So why am I feeling skeptical about this? Okay. I had just tweeted out earlier. This is going to look funny on a 12-hour chart. I just tweeted out earlier. Let's get these lines off of here. That there was some negative divergence that for me to really feel convicted on this price movement, I need to see the negative divergence negated. And I pointed to this level up here on a 78.26. Now on a daily, do we have negative? We're going to get rid of this for now. Do we have negative divergence? We do. Are we breaking out from it? This setting is annoying. There we go. On the daily... No, we're right up against resistance here, okay? So, again, I remain skeptical about this breakout. I do, and I still, as bullish as I am, this doesn't change anything. Again, some people confuse some of my words here. I'm talking on the lower time frame. When I go to a 5-minute chart, whether or not a 5-minute bull flag plays out on Bitcoin, I really, honestly, at the end of the day, I don't care because it doesn't change the fundamental outlook I have for this year. Does that make sense? Whether we break up or down, it's not going to change my narrative unless the chart completely falls apart, which I don't expect, okay? But one of the things I was pointing out to you, I spoke about 4 scenarios last week just for fun, like in the shorter term, what would I expect? And I said, of the 4, my gut feel is something like this, where we poke our head above. The general premise here is that we poke our head above 30,000, but we quickly get rejected. We have some sort of relatively V-shaped recovery, and we bounce off some support area at, say, 25,000 or 24,000, and then we just continue churning higher. Could this break to the... Look, we go to a weekly here. Look at this. We're right in the red zone of resistance, okay? I've had this marked out here for a very long time, all right? Red zone of resistance. We're right in there. All right, and remember, I had commented, actually, if you're not following me at CryptoBullGod on Twitter, you didn't know this, I tweeted out yesterday that I think the most optimistic, rosy picture we could paint for ourselves that is a feel-good is to get completely above this red zone here, and by May 31st, I said, close out that monthly candlestick, and really this is a weekly chart though, somewhere in between 35.5 and 43. I think if by the end of May we can sustain price levels between 35.5 and 43K, we are in very, very good shape. Again, because we don't want this parabola to start too soon. We want to continue making stair steps. This is have you guys noticed, speaking of stair steps, have you guys noticed on the way down, stair step, down, stair step, right? This is not what we want to see. Down, stair step. But now look what has happened, okay? Up, stair step. Up, stair step. So could we set up for a move just like that, okay? Stair steps down are the bearish narrative of a bearish turn, downturn. A higher highs and higher lows are the basic building blocks of a bullish narrative, as I always say on this channel. So we right now at a very high level are just building these stair steps up. Very good to see. So really, we'll get to that chart in a moment. But really, I think that's the most bullish thing we could hope to see in the charts, and like to see, I should say, in the charts, because I don't like to use the word hope. At least in this sense. Boy, that sounded very negative. I don't like to use the word hope. I'm a very positive person, by the way. No. Hope is in, I use education to form these opinions. I don't need hope. But anyway, when you're looking at the weekly, look at it. And we're starting to steadily increase in price here. We're right in this red zone of resistance between roughly 28.8 and 31.9. Okay, so what I'm saying is basically $29,000 to $32,000. Okay, if we can punch our head, I will say, if we can punch our head above 32 here and sustain price action above really 31.8, 32, this would be very bullish if we can break up this week, consolidate a little bit in here. Okay, I want to consolidate for a little bit, not too fast, not too soon. Then punch up in here, consolidate, and then start to continue to move up. If we do that, okay, if we built some sort of similar momentum to that with steady stair steps like that, believe me, we have more than enough time this year, if that were to happen, to enter a final parabolic rise up to those higher price levels that I've mentioned before in prior videos above $100,000, right? So this is looking very good. The other thing, if you guys were here last week, I shared one chart with you that was concerning for me. I'm always going to share concerning things and exciting things with you guys. And so the one concerning chart for me was this chart, which is the 3-day time frame as it relates to the 50 and 200 simple moving average. Now, what I didn't like is if you just delete these lines for a moment, okay, you can see that the 50, we don't have a golden cross. The 50 is not above the 200. The purple is not above the pink, okay? Let's add this back in. So if you go back in time and intuitively to me it makes sense, there's no way, when you see these golden crosses, they've led to large rises in prices in the 3-day, but there's no way, the basic premise here is there's no way we're going to create new all-time highs if the 50 and the 200 aren't, this year I should say, if the 50 and 200 aren't in sync with one another as they should be, where the 50 is above the 200. Now, if we continue bullish momentum up to the upside, as bullish as one could expect, I generally could see the 50, as hard as it curled down, it could start to curl up the other way. Because keep in mind how a moving average is calculated. It's the prior 50 candlesticks. A lot of these 50 candlesticks were in this area, okay? All in this area, okay? Much lower than current price levels. So as that moving average is being recalculated and there's a plot being put on this graph, the more price sustains itself up in these higher areas, the more it's going to want to move this moving average up at a steep cliff, okay? So this is my theoretical projection if bullish momentum sustains itself on the 3-day, which I would love to see. This would imply that we'd see a golden cross on the 3-day somewhere around the beginning to the midpoint of July. That leaves plenty of opportunity to still have a blow-off top this year, as I'm suspecting that we will be. Now, let's take a look at the total cryptocurrency market cap, okay? Right now, we're sitting at 1.18 trillion. And I love this setup, okay? Again, we broke resistance. This was descending resistance. We broke it. We back tested as we often do. We've continued to move up. We've consolidated. I love the fact that this price action is consolidating in the manner that it is. This is on the weekly total cryptocurrency market cap. The MACD is very healthy. We're above zero, bullish. RSI is at 62.45. That's bullish, not overextended. The stochastic RSI is at overextended levels, which can maintain themselves for a significant amount of time if you look back in history, so nothing super concerning to me. And the 99 blue line is above the 96. But look at this price action just consolidating in here. And again, it's all about creating these stair steps, guys. Anytime, I really want you to keep this perspective. Promise yourself you'll do this, okay? We're going to have some days in price action moving forward where we're going to have a lot of volatility to the downside. We're going to see massive rises up, okay? But then we're going to have a 30-40% correction to the downside in some of these altcoins, okay? On days like that, do yourself a favor, okay? And if you appreciate what I'm sharing with you, hit the thumbs up button for support. Zoom out on a higher time frame view to keep your perspective on the current day's price action, okay? Zoom out, look at a higher time frame price action to keep your perspective on that day's price action, okay? And this is the key message I would convey to you on this chart. We've broken two levels of downward resistance noted by the downward slanting gray and black lines, okay? Since then, what have we done? This is a stair step down here, okay? You know what I'm going to say. That is a stair step. This is a move up, another stair step, another move up, a stair step. And now what I want to see is I want to get in this area. If we can get in between 1.34 to 1.55, just doing some quick math in my head, that's what they pay me the big bucks to do as an actuary. 134 over 117, that's about a 10% increase. We go up to 1.55. That's about a 21% increase, maybe 22, 21, no, 21% increase. So you're talking about the entire market lifting itself up by between basically 10 to 20%, okay? I think that's very reasonable to see given the current price action in the market. Let's see who we got into the comment feed here. Drop me a comment. We're going to be doing, by the way, I'm going to go through a few more charts, and then we're going to do a live TA Q&A, okay? So make sure you have your chart questions ready. If you want, you can start populating them a while in the comment feed. It depends what crypto is doing regarding my driving skills. Very, very not well timed, but well played comment there, YC. What's up, Jorge? Kevin, let's fucking go. Like I said on Twitter today, and like I said, I believe at the top of this live stream, we've been in like a 1.5 year long correction. A bloody correction, not a bear cycle or a bear market, a correction within a broader impulse to the upside, which I know I'm part of the majority believing that. Minority, not majority, minority. It's okay given the extent of the correction that has taken place in the market and how salty that felt to take get a little bit excited about the price action going on, okay? So it's encouraging. Don't get too excited, but get a little motherfucking excited, all right? Show a little positivity. Show a little hope. If you were here at the start of the live stream, show a little hope. Good. We got some TA comments coming in. Kevin, actually, I just charted those. I charted XLM out recently. I'm surprised you didn't catch that, but that was on one of the live streams, maybe like 2 or 3 live streams ago, but we could take a look at it. Or Quant. I think it might be more value added, message retracted. I think it would be more value added to do Quant, because we haven't looked at that in a little while, but I'll leave that up to you, my friend. Shiba Inu. So we have not taken a look at this in God knows how long. This is a 3-day view on Binance's exchange here. So the very first important thing I'd like to point out, this downward resistance here was broken. Now what I like, it was actually back tested right here. How many times do we say that? We kind of rode this down, almost formed this double bottom here. You can see like a double bottom, and now we've continued to move up, okay? So what would I look for on SHIB right now? Well, I mean, I think this is obvious. I have 2 areas of resistance that were pre-existing on this chart, so I'm not going to rechart those on this time frame because I think I made that on a weekly. But anyway, let me put the first obvious line of resistance you want to look for on SHIB if you're in this thing. I mean, do you see why I'm saying this? Let's actually make this an orange line. Do you see how there's 2 touches here? This is your first area of resistance. It looks like it's at point... Jesus. Why do they have to make a token that's priced this way? I think they just do that for fun. 0.40's a 1805. Like, why build a project that's going to read a price like that? Like, that's just... I don't know. Isn't that annoying? I don't know. I find it annoying. It's 0.40's 1805, all right? Right now we're sitting at 0.40's 11. So it would basically be a 70% move to the upside. That's your first area of resistance. Now, obviously for support, I mean, I think this is rather obvious, but honestly, I really don't want to go below this line here. But obviously we don't want to go below our lowest low here, whatever the hell that reads. 5 zeros and a 716. Jesus. But anyway, this looks to me, let me see if I actually see something else on this chart. Nah, I'm reaching on that. Never mind. No, this is setting up really nice. I think it's all about breaking this 0.1805. Once we break that, you can see this is really going to act as a red zone of resistance between the 0.2728 and the 2096. Okay. Once we start clearing areas, when you see Shiba Inu basically at the 0.40's 3, okay, tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths, 100,000th decimal. Wow. Once you see it up at the 0.40's and a 3, that's the time to start getting excited. We should come back to this chart. Let's get into 1 inch. Is anybody, drop me a comment, is anyone invested in the project or taking a swing play on 1 inch? For everyone who wants to know what wine I'm drinking, I am drinking one of the wines, for those who have been here, from the mystery case that I got from Annaba Wines in, was it Sonoma? I ordered a mystery case of wine, and they sent me 6 Pinot Noirs and 6 Chardonnays. I was really excited about that. Anyway, it is a very good wine, though. It's a 2018 Pinot Noir, very good. Actually, that was a really, really nice vineyard. Anybody going out to California vineyards? California wine country, Sonoma and Napa Valley. I'm pretty sure this was Sonoma, although I could be wrong. Check out Annaba Wines, A-N-A-B-A. I'll give them a shout out because they have really good wines. I was pissed off about their mystery case, but it is what it is. This is a 3-day chart, 1 inch on the Binance exchange, okay? One of the things that I would draw on this chart to know if this is one of the things you want to do to be well informed if there's some strength coming into the move, sometimes before you might even, you might see the real move come in. One of the things you have to do on a chart is you have to break downward resistance, okay? Basic premise in charting, because what does downward resistance communicate to you? There's weakness in the price. You're creating lower highs, right? That's exactly what it's saying to you. The other area of downward resistance, once we topped out here, so why did I not, and this is good to see. So you can see we've broke out of this downward resistance here. Let's make that our gray line. Why would I not draw the resistance like this? Okay, well, the reason I wouldn't draw it like this or like this or like this is because this wick up here, this is a really important point. I would really zone in on what I'm saying here, be real, just take it in and hear what I'm saying here, because there's a lot of people on Twitter that do this stuff and it doesn't make any sense. This is a high expression of volatility here, this price wick, right? And it's to such a sharp degree angle up that it doesn't capture all of this downward trend, right? So really what you want to do when you draw this downward trend, you want to get, some of the, really where this starts out, where there's more of a candle body presence here and some of the wicks here where you can get touches, and then bring it down here to see where we're really seeing our breakout, okay? That's what I would recommend doing, okay? So you can see we basically had a touch here, but you can see we broke out of this gray area of resistance. Now we're gonna have a black area of resistance up here, okay? But what other areas of resistance are we gonna see on 1 inch? And we'll take a look at the price indicators in a moment here. I would say, well, actually, let's start what we always start with. In terms of areas of support, what could we expect? Well, obviously our lowest low, okay, our all-time low, but there's another range I would draw right around here, okay? At about 40, we'll make it 45 cents, okay? I would love to stay above 45 cents on 1 inch, okay? Now, areas of resistance, what could we expect? All right, well, there's an obvious area right around there. Red is for resistance, green is for support, okay? Other areas of resistance. Yeah, right around there. Yeah, 56 cents for sure. So, and again, how I'm doing this, by the way, is you don't see any red lines really for the most part going through candle bodies. They're going through wicks, and they're going through on the bottom of bodies here, okay, or on the top. That is how I am drawing. Now, you can't avoid, like, there's a body that goes through here, but you can see all this price wick consolidation area there, or resistance here, and then once we got above. But basically, there's a lot of zones of resistance here. So what I would look for, if you're in 1 inch, no one has claimed being an investor or swing trade play on 1 inch. 1 inch is sitting right now 54 cents. There's a zone right here of resistance between 56 and 75. Then again, between 75 and 89. Once we can start getting above 89, and really 90 cents is a psychological area, what I would really mainly be watching for, one more area of resistance right there, I'll paint it $1.60. But really, let's start breaking this downward descending resistance. That's what I'd really want to see in the chart to feel convicted that the downtrend is over. Look, I drew a snowman. Wow, the things that I do on this channel. I mean, is this not a snowman? Frosty the Snowman. Da, 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 da. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you don't know who Frosty the Snowman is, you need to unsubscribe to the channel and you need to get off the live stream immediately. Look, Frosty the Snowman. There we go. All right, let's get off. Chain link. This is something I had tweeted about, okay? There has been a considerable amount of bullish divergence that has been building on Chainlink's price action here on the weekly. You can see that price is just going chippy chop, okay? It's just consolidating around here, but the RSI is increasing in value. Look, I don't know if there's going to be a narrative or a news release or whatever the case is, okay, to fit the chart, okay? Something about oracles and AI, God only knows because of the AI initiative. Or narrative, I should say, right? Initiative. Sounds like we're being taken over by AI. No, the AI narrative. Whatever the case is, this chart is screaming to me that it's due for a massive breakout, okay? And I have the areas of resistance. You can zone in. You can zoom in here to see what areas of resistance that I have, okay? Now, when Link starts to break out, you're going to see other cryptocurrency projects that are related in terms of what they're going at from a fundamental basis. You should see them break out. One of them is UMA. I've been talking about UMA for a long time. The breakout is taking a lot longer than I had expected. I thought we would have seen it by now. But it doesn't mean, here's the thing, you don't give up on a shorter-term swing trade play unless if your investment thesis or swing trade play thesis falls apart on you, okay? Just because the time horizon has changed doesn't mean that if nothing fundamentally in the chart has changed, that it's going to make me any less convicted that we're going to see it. Now, one of the things you can see we broke out of this falling wedge. This is a 5-day. One of the other things I began looking at to see if I could get any indication when this damn thing's going to break out. You can see the orange line is the 20 simple moving average and the blue line is the 10-day simple moving average. Anytime we've had a positive cross where the blue is above the orange, okay, you always want those lower time frame moving averages to be above the higher time frame, okay? So anytime they were flat and crossed, big rise in price. Flat, and then increasing, a giant rise in price, okay? This has been down the whole time. Now we flattened out, okay? We have flattened out, and the orange is getting set to cross above the blue. So in these coming next handful of 5-day candlesticks that take us maybe towards the end of this month, midpoint of the month to end of the month, could we see a break to the upside? We'll have to see, but remember, keep in mind, a lot of these crypto tokens that have had bounces to the upside have hit right around the 0.382 fib extension, or retracement, excuse me. And the comparison in this chart that I was drawing to was Band Protocol when it had its large move late last year. It went from like $1 over to $3, okay? Chart set up here, and as far as the BTC relativity chart, they were setting up the same. So I still feel confident that we're going to see a large move to the upside. Main area here, I have anywhere between $4.50 and $8.50. My main area, however, would be right in this 4 to 5 range. Okay, this is just my personal risk strategy based on what I have allocated and how I want to scale out. Most of my selling is going to be in this $4 to $5 range when we do get up there. I'll leave some on the table to see if we get entertain levels up here on the bounce. And again, I'm not talking about this, okay? That's not what I'm talking about. I would expect some sort of large move up into this area and then a deep retracement and then a continuation up, okay? That would be my expectation. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. One other chart I wanted to speak to, and then I'm going to get to your crypto TA questions. This is Synapse, and let's get off of here. You can see we've retraced quite a bit, but yesterday I had indicated, was it yesterday or was it on, I think it was yesterday. Yeah, I had tweeted a chart of this when we were putting this red candlestick, and I said, hey, the body got right into my price zone between 70 and 77 cents. We got all the way down to like 72 cents. And I said, I'm a buyer. So I gobbled up a bunch. I also gobbled up a bunch of track, ticker symbol TRAC. But we've since made a nice move up. We were all the way up at 92 cents. Not surprising to see we got rejected at what price? 91 cents. Oh, no, wait. Is this at 91? That's funny. I have an area of resistance drawn at 91 cents, and we literally hit resistance right on the button. All right? Doesn't happen all the time, but... Now, on the 3-day chart, this is my expectations for this chart. Now, keep in mind, this is a 3-day chart, so each candlestick represents 3 days of price action. This candlestick has just printed today. We still have 2 more days to print the entire candlestick. I should finish printing. It began today, but it finishes printing end of day on Wednesday. So anyway, MACD, what we want to see, okay, we want to see this start to pinch, this to start to curl up, the blue to start to curl up, and the orange, and they all go up together. That's what we want to see. It's starting to try to. I know when we had higher price action up towards 91 cents, this thing was a lot closer. RSI, don't pay attention to the green line. RSI is at 42. Okay, so we're bordering oversold here. We're a little more oversold than not. And the stochastic RSI, I don't know if you can really see that well, we're below the 20 trigger line. So some price indicators need to get more healthy in nature. But this is to me, this is a beautiful setup. I almost took some off. Considered this morning before I had left to work out, setting a limit here at 89 cents, and I never did. And I said, no, I'm waiting for a larger move to the upside, because the reality is, if this indeed is a falling wedge, keep in mind, okay, this is the way I have it drawn, okay, and we're right in between yellow. I said orange. Again, could we get into the orange zone? Absolutely. The falling wedge could still be validated. You could get a price wick that could come all the way down to this 65 or 59 cent area. Again, I think based on this chart setup, it's a massive opportunity. The falling wedge, keep in mind, the technical breakout would be, and we're just talking short term too. I'm not talking long term. I'm just talking about some sort of swing trade play to the upside. If I draw it from the base to the top, this is roughly what the breakout would be. Let's say we get it. Let's say we get it this week. That would put us up more towards twice the price level as we were correcting, more up towards $1.40. Okay, but again, if we broke out down here, then you have to bring it down at the point of breakout is where you put the target. So this would put us up to $1.27 still. So you could see, what I should say, you could see, but also what I expect to see. Hit the thumbs up if you appreciate the TA content. What I would expect to see here is some sort of massive break and then a sharp correction and then continued movements to the upside. That is ultimately what I expect, okay? I thought there was one other thing I wanted to touch on in this chart. Yes, there was. So you can see this is on a 3-day again. Resistance, broke out from resistance. We're even coming down almost like we want to back test this line, but check this out. Now you can draw downward resistance obviously different on the same time frame as long as you're not invalidating the pattern in this case by drawing through candle bodies. And you can also draw it different on different time frames, okay? Heikin-Ashi candlesticks, weekly time frame, we see resistance, a break, back test, and I expect a further move up. I see large moves to the upside for this one. Synapse is one where when we started escalating in price like this, I mean, the magnitude of this price move was very similar to Alchemy, okay? Very similar to ACH, all right? So I have a really good feel for this chart, the setup, and I feel confident with this one. So that's all I had for pre-prepared charts. Let's get into some TA Q&A. Oh boy. Kevin, you're asking me 10 quant or 10,000 XLM. This isn't a cop-out. This is just my honest answer. I think since you own both projects, I think the best thing for you would be to say 5 quant and 5,000 XLM. That's what I would say. I mean, that's what I would do. I have old school tokens in my portfolio, including Bitcoin. Bitcoin's old school, right? I have some old school coins in my wallet. And I have, sorry, I should not have sniffed into the microphone. I have old school coins in my wallets as well as newer tokens, right? Synapse is one in a shorter term swing trade play. But, you know, like look at an old term play like your XRP, XLM, Digibyte, Bitcoin. I even have a little bit of Dash. Zcash, I might have like a token or two of that. But yeah, I have some old school stuff, you know. Some of it is just the nostalgia of it too. I genuinely at heart, as much as I love doing TA, I'm a fundamentalist at heart in terms of appreciation for the space. Like part of me feels like the Dash that I own or the Monero that I may or may not own, Zcash, some of that stuff I'll probably just never sell. Like I just, you know, there's just something about it. But anyway, let's get back to the charts. Let's go 40-cent Digibyte. You know what's funny is I don't think in my dead Digibyte video I put out price targets. I was waiting for prices to move. But I will tell you, YC, that I don't think 40 cents is unrealistic whatsoever, actually. So I think that's a realistic price target for Digibyte. It's a 40x from current levels. And based on its market cap ranking and prior performance, I could most certainly see that. What's up, Frankie? All right. Sorry, losing track there. Computer's acting up. All right. Not take quant, but I am biased. NXRA. Okay, NXRA. I haven't charted this one before. Thank you for the question. Who do we got here? Jorge, thank you for the question. I have nope, haven't looked at this one. Okay, so we're going to open up a blank chart, and we're going to get at it. NXRA. Jorge, you had a really good chart last time, didn't you? One that I was unfamiliar with, ASRT, I think. It's funny because I actually charted that out and I saved the chart. So I appreciate when you guys bring up charts to me, especially ones, I think the ones I really appreciate are when you bring new projects to my attention. It at least gives me a chart to chart out. I haven't looked at before. It gives me a project to potentially research. So thank you for bringing in the questions. Hopefully there's more price action than this. That's a little rough. KuCoin. Jorge, this is... Yeah, brother, this is a tough one. Well, we'll do the best we can, but it's not very immature data. I honestly don't even like looking at something like this. This is on... Wasn't there more price data than this? Is it KuCoin? All right. We're going to look at KuCoin for this. This is ticker symbol NXRA. I'm curious, what market cap ranking? Is this a new project or... Oh, Jesus. Market rank 2,700. Dear God, I never chart these. This is like way too... All right. Well, let's take a look. It'll be something fun to chart, but I'm going to have to go to a much smaller time frame. I'm going to go to a 4-hour because at this point... Okay. This does not have a lot of price data. It presents a challenge because the data is immature, but I love a challenge. And so in this case, what I would do, the first thing I would recommend for a chart like this does not have a lot of price data. You want to go into the lower time frames. In this case, a 4-hour time frame is a great time frame. Okay. When you go to lower time frames to try to chart out big picture perspective, what's going on with immature data, I would try the 4, 8, and 12 and see how that looks. I think the 4 is perfect for this. I really like the market symmetry that I'm seeing in the chart. Okay, I definitely see an area of support right there. This was basically a triple. We have a triple bottom, potential bullish setup. And I'm sure this is actually some sort of formation that this looks... interesting. This looks like a formation of some sort that I don't know, but that is present in the chart, possibly. I don't know. It just kind of looks like some sort of zigzag formation. But anyway, let's see here. we have an area of prior resistance here around 7.3 cents. We just cleared that. Very bullish to have come back tested and held as support. Now, what other areas would I look for as areas of resistance? I don't think we're above here. Yeah, that's given us a problem spot. You can see if we go back in time to the chart all the way back to March 15th, since there's not a lot of price data. Once we watch what happened here, we got up to this line right here and we got rejected and we came down, right? And then we finally broke above and we stayed above it. Oh, and we got down and we couldn't get back up, right? So now look where we're at. You see how we're having problems? That's where we had problems here. So if we did something similar in nature, maybe what we could expect, and we'll look at the price indicators, maybe we see a rejection as low as down here, okay? Come down to this area again and then start to break above. So now where do we expect to run into more resistance on this chart? I think it's rather intuitive. It's pretty easy to see. There's an area right around there, and then there's another area I would draw right around here, okay? And obviously our all-time high, which is like right up. I'm not making these numbers perfect, okay? Just follow the logic. But you can see there's a zone right in between here, between 8.8 cents and 9.5 cents, okay? Then there's another one between 10.5 and 9.5. Once we clear that 10.5, well, now we have a blue sky breakout and we can create new all-time highs. Quick look at the price indicators to see if anything helpful is shedding its light. MACD looks a little overextended, my friend. Looks like it wants to come down here. Now, it doesn't have to cross negative, but I know it doesn't need to cross negative, but it could come down and kind of kiss here. The RSI is at 64, and the stochastic RSI, even though it's negative in the 70 is below 76, it's not concerning with in terms of how close it is. And it's just slowly declining. It's not like a sharp decline here, okay? So nothing overly concerning here. All right, so who was that? Jorge, thank you for the question. It seems everyone is sick in Florida. I just recovered from a runny nose and have been a lot of people also with it. Yeah, I apologize if I'm sniffing in the microphone. You know, not TMI. But I definitely had some sort of infection of some sort this past. It was like, I want to say the past week and a half. I forget when I told you guys that I wasn't feeling well, but that went away relatively quickly. But the congestion, and when I blow my nose, there's some blood in there. All right, so you know if you're blowing your nose and there's blood coming out, you have some form of an infection, right? It's not like I was hemorrhaging and loads of blood were coming out, but yeah, for like a week and a half that was going on, and it's only first started to clear up recently within these past couple days. But I do apologize if I'm sniffing in the microphone. It's I don't know what's going on down here in Florida. You thought you knew that was too much. Nice, Jorge. Cha-ching. I'm sorry, Josh. I don't understand your question. What's up, Josh? I don't think I understand your question. Thank you, Neffy. I appreciate it. DOVU. DOV? Is that a project? Again, you guys are bringing up more projects I do not know. Interessante. Interessante, my friend. Is this another 3,000? Oh, come on, guys. Really? Is this thing just listed or something? Market rank 841. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, what exchange is this on? Well, I apologize. Oh, okay. So we're talking about a DEX now. All right. Well, this is going to suck. I don't even know. Okay. There we go. All right, so you really want me to chart this one out, huh? All right, we can. Oh, big jump in BTC. There we go. Okay. It's okay to get a little excited. It's okay to get a little happy. Fucking 18, 19-month correction. It's okay, everybody. It's okay to be happy. Jesus Almighty. As positive as I was last year, let me just share this with you. As positive as I was last year, it was very hard when anytime I try to say something positive, somebody on Twitter would just come at you, right? And it was like land of the sandy vaginas. Everyone had a fucking sandy vagina, right? Sandy vaginas are not fun. Women are not the only people who have sandy vaginas. Men can have sandy vaginas, all right? When you get all salty. So it's okay. Enjoy the price action. Bitcoin's up 5%. Let's look at the 12-hour chart. How's the RSI looking? Okay, now we're starting to get into some interesting territory because if we can take out this descending resistance, that's our first indication the move could be real. But I really want to start taking out 78.26 because you realize I know this is a lower time frame. But if we can start taking out some of the negative divergence on the 12-hour, that'll take out some of the other negative divergences we see on the higher time frames, okay? We're really starting to see a break here, though. This is exciting. We're starting to see a break here. We'll have to see if this carries through. Thanks for pointing this out. Who was that? Josh, appreciate it. I kind of want to keep live streaming. Let's see how high this shit can go today. Yeah, and keep in mind, if you've been here listening and paying attention to what I'm saying, look at Ethereum up 2.3%. We are, in my opinion, due for a run in the alts. Okay, due for a run in the alts. And as we're watching this breakout right now, let's actually load the dominance. And let's take a look at this. Because you know that I've been calling for this descending triangle. Now, right now, again, we're very early in April. Okay? If this body starts to really close, if the body closes up here, okay, and we're above this line, this descending triangle has been completely invalidated. This has been a valid pattern. There's nothing wrong with what I have drawn out. It's just what people don't understand. When a pattern doesn't work for you, it's not you, it's just numbers and probabilities, okay? I've drawn a valid pattern, but it has a probability associated with it, right? The only thing certain in life is living and dying. That is it. This is what people who are not technically minded do not understand. This is a valid pattern, but there's a probability, let's say 70%. There's a 70% probability this will go to the downside, as I have drawn. There's a 30% probability that the pattern just won't work, okay? Nothing is 100% in charting. This is what people don't understand. But where I was going with this is that that's what would invalidate this pattern. Now, for the month of April, we could come all the way up here. We could come all the way up here, okay? We could come up to 59%. But as long as we started closing back in this area around 48, 47, 46%, well, the pattern is still present, okay? Because a price wick is what? It's an expression of volatility. So we'll have to see. I have been waiting for a breakdown in this dominance, Bitcoin dominance, to really start to see some sort of run in alts. And I've kind of painted out here what I expected, okay? If you haven't been here for a little while, oh, wow, I must have erased it. But basically, once we actually do break through here, I see us retesting our all-time lows, maybe have a little bounce up, and then we start to plummet down to these low 20% levels, okay? So we'll have to definitely keep an eye on the dominance. I think it's something that we'll be watching a little bit more closely now that we're having this break. Exciting time, guys. Exciting time. Keep an eye on these charts this week. You know, I had indicated yesterday I was really excited to come to you today. We're running well over, but I don't really give a shit. So we're just going to restart this, and I don't care. I was excited to come to you in particular, and that's why I really wanted to try to live stream a little bit earlier today because I knew this would probably run over. But this setup right now has a potential, okay, to really get some excitement into the market. And especially looking at that dominance chart, I think there is a very, very good, solid likelihood that we could see some really strong moves in some of these alts. that once Bitcoin, if it's going to make its move, and it really does want to go up, okay? It really wants to go up to 32 and hang out around 32. I am telling you right now, we get up to those levels, that money's going to start bleeding out of Bitcoin as it consolidates. It's going to go into Ethereum, some of the bigger alts, and it's going to bleed down to your smaller ones, okay? That is really the sense that I have. And I just saw yesterday, actually, it's funny, but I think I've spoken to it on this channel before. Credible Crypto had tweeted something out that I know I've been thinking to myself, and I feel like I've said on this channel a couple times, but people have inaccurately been describing, in my opinion, this price action with this price action, and I don't agree. This price action mirrors more of what we're seeing right in here, minus the steep volatility here. But this mirrors more of what's going on here, and it's nice to at least see that one person out there feels similar. Credible Crypto had tweeted something out related to that yesterday evening that I saw, and I commented on. But that's the sense I have. And it's not just the way the chart is setting up, but it's also the sentiment. It's also the sentiment. I feel a lot of people are really complacent in here. We're very complacent in here, and we just got all of a sudden, again, if I'm correct, and we're really going to see new all-time highs here in the market, it's going to happen very quickly. Again, if you go back in time, okay? If you go back in time and we're in this moment right now. This is live. We're watching the candlesticks. We're live streaming. It is the summer of 2020, and I remember the summer of 2020 very well, okay? Actually moved to the area that I'm in right now. So the summer of 2020. Now, we had our V-shaped recovery, but then we just started doing this, and people got uninterested. Nobody was interested. Nobody was bullish. No one, okay? I was bullish. If you go back to my videos, I was bullish, but even this move surprised me, okay? So now let's fast forward through time and let's take a look at when this move really started, okay? Really keep this in mind for the present day. Really here on Monday, October 5th, 2020, watch price open at 10,500. Okay. On January 4th, November, December, 3 months later, we hit a high of 42,000. Bitcoin had done a 4x in 3 months. In 3 months, Bitcoin went from 10 to 40. And now from January, everyone's like, oh my God, wow, hell of a run. Oh, we dipped down to 29. Oh, remember the 29 level. 29, which we're at right now, 29. And then we shot up in a matter of several weeks here up to $64,000. Guys, this is how quickly the market will take your breath away. And you think that was a large move. If you weren't here, altcoins went superiorly more higher. Okay, it went exponentially higher, okay? So when we come back to the present day, and now we're doing this, there is no reason we can't pop up here this week or next week and then just continue slowly climbing. Correct? Oh, see, I told you it was all over. Because I got to tell you, everyone, I feel like anyone, it's kind of frustrating. It's kind of mind-boggling how so many people... The market is bringing back the Satoshis, the market, again, it's kind of frustrating when I see that about 99% of people out there feel they know exactly what's going to happen because of a halving date, okay? There are so many people saying that Bitcoin's going to get up to about $48,000, and then it's going to have some mid-cycle correction, and then we're just going to do bullshit for the next 12 months, and then we'll see a new all-time high that coincides with the halving and blah, 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 okay? People have just thrown technical analysis right out the door. No one's acknowledging what an Elliott wave is. No one has acknowledged we had our third impulse 2021, and we've been in this expanded flat correction. No one seemingly is talking about this. Just a handful of people. So, again, if we do something similar to what we did in 2020 going into 21, which is how it feels to me, even from an emotional, putting aside the charts, it feels very similar. very, very quickly, you will see a 4X, okay? Very, very quickly, you will see prices get up to this level. Maybe people think we triple top, we reject, we come back up, and then we're over, $80,000, $90,000. It's going to happen quickly. This is the way it works with every impulse and every parabolic move. No one, who the fuck wanted to buy at these levels? Who the fuck wanted to buy at these levels when you had every thumbnail coming out that was at 5,000 or 10,000 Bitcoin, 8,000 Bitcoin? Just fucked-hard levels that made no sense. No technical analysis behind it. Emotional stories about what is going on in the market. And again, if you want to be part of the 99%, go for it. But if everyone is expecting a recession this year, and performance in the stock market and crypto is different from a technical recession. The stock market in real life can be very diverged many times. The point is, everyone and their mother is expecting a massive downturn in the stock market, and it's not going to do much this year. So should you go in the direction that the majority are feeling, or should you perhaps try to look outside the box and take the contrarian view to see what may actually potentially happen this year? Okay, so again, we're right up in this red zone of resistance. I mean, if we could punch through this week, all the more bullish. But again, we want nice, healthy consolidation before we start making large moves to the upside. Now, let me get back to the last chart to take a look at here. We've been going for a long time on this live stream today. If you appreciate the content, give the thumbs up button, drop a bell icon for notifications on when we go live. Tomorrow should also be a very exciting live stream because we're going to have this day's worth of price action behind us. And I will tell you what, now I want to hit on this one last thing. Now that Bitcoin is breaking out, we are either... I spoke to probabilities or at least gut sense. There's 4 possible scenarios here, right? I illustrated them last week with these colorful arrows on this chart, right? And I stuck with this one. I said my gut, okay, doesn't change the long-term thesis, but my gut in the short term is we make a large move up here, but we get rejected, sort of a V-shaped recovery, and then break past here, okay? Well, right now, we're either in the process of doing that, or we are in the process of a substantial move to the upside with no sharp pullback. So the next several days this week are going to be very telling for this chart, a very exciting next handful of days. So we'll have to keep an eye on how price action is developing, and I will be here every single day coming at you live. All right, let's look at the daily. Wow, this is a rough one to plot, I will say. We're going to keep it on the daily. How about, do we have a moving average? Okay, we're above a 10-day. How about price action? Okay, MACD's positive, starting to curl down. We need to regain momentum, kind of push this guy up. RSI is at a real healthy level at 55. Stochastic RSI, it's kind of peaked out there, but it's doing okay. It's doing good. Nothing overly concerning there. So let's look at price action. So... anyone, you put a kindergarten in this chart and they can tell you there's resistance there, right? Because look, whoop, 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 can't get above, right? So you can look at how many decimals are here and read whatever that is. It's 51257 about, okay? About 51257. There's resistance there. Where else would I draw resistance on this chart? And then we'll take a look at areas of support. Other areas of resistance... I would draw one right there. I would draw one right there. And I would... let's just keep it there for now. So come back. We can take a look at the chart. But we have this 51257, this 6153, and the 6905. Okay, this is going to be clear areas of resistance, areas of support. Looks like we're hugging. I will say we're like, I don't want to. This damn thing's so fucking volatile, man. You gave me something challenging here because there's, not a lot of volume and it's chippy choppy. Guys, not even enough volume to fill in all. Yeah, look at this. Oh my god, this is a hell of a chart here. All right, I'm bitching. I'm being a little salty. Speaking of sandy vaginas, I'm acting like I have a sandy vagina. I do not have a sandy vagina. I'm sure I'm acting like it. this is really my zone. So if you're in this thing, to win this thing, you can see the areas of resistance I just spoke to. Green is going to be your support. This is your big support zone. Okay, this is your friend zone. All your friends are down here, and they're going to catch you. If you fall, whee! If you fall, you're going to fall all the way down here, and you're going to be safe. In that zone that you want to see, you need that friend zone. If your friends start letting go, and they're like, I'm fucking out, you don't want to fall below this zone. Not a good thing, all right? That's between 4293 and 38522, okay? 38522 and 4293, okay. Love these ones that have 6,000 zeros in front of the number. It's always fun doing that on a live stream. It really was impossible not to make money. Yeah, 2021 was insane. It really was. It's pretty fucking crazy. All right, keep an eye on these charts today. Spend a little bit of time with your loved ones, but the charts, keep an eye on the charts. I know I will be. So I will be here tomorrow. These next few days will be very interesting to see how we close out the week. We could start getting some really large impulses and moves in the market potentially this week. But I really want to see, like I said, the thing that will increase my confidence level. Let's negate this negative divergence starting on the 12-hour time frame, and then let's start bleeding over to the 1 day. We didn't even look at the 3 day. We can look at it tomorrow. I don't know if there's negative divergence, but at least on the 12-hour and 1 day, let's get that out of there. And that would make me feel a little bit more convicted. But charts are looking great. Great for long-term setups here. So I hope everybody's invested. They know what they're invested in. They're diversified. They're being patient, and they're utilizing both myself and others in the community who provide value-added technical analysis. If you appreciate the content, hit the thumbs up button, drop me a comment, hit the thumbs up button, and did I say hit the thumbs up button? Hit the thumbs up button, drop me a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon for notifications. Until next time, spread awareness and carry the education forward. Good to see everybody. Not really see you, but good for everybody tuning in. Thank you for your support. Take care, and I will see you tomorrow.